You know, the pay-per-view quality for Wrestling 2023 is pretty impressive, I must say, so far. Like, WWE has a good streak on really good pay-per-view, especially than we want to go this year. And AEW, except for maybe one Double or Nothing, which was just Double or Nothing was like, it was above average pay per view, but it wasn't up par to some of the AEW pay per views. Even with this year, like Revolution 2023 was great, and the one that I'm talking about is Forbidden Door, AEW New Japan co-branded pay-per-view, Forbidden Door 2023. It's another really great one, and you know, it's really gonna be kind of hard which one is like I call show of the year, because I thought WrestleMania, like most part of night one, was really fucking great. This show was on par with that, in my opinion. Like, at least for this show, Forbidden Door 2023, we had like one, maybe two, maybe like, well, like, there's definitely one match that you can easily qualify as match of the year. But yeah, this show had not quite a bad match in it, although there was one match I kinda iffy on, and you will get why later on in this video. But this show, I thought Forbidden Door, last year's one, was a good step for what a AEW New Japan co-branded pay-per-view could be for the next few years, and this show I thought was better than last year's. Like, I mean, and the card is like infinitely better than some last year. Even though Forbidden Door last year was good, this was even better. Like, the quality of the matches from this card alone, like, yeah, it was pretty much a bang of a show, Double Nothing. And I don't even know what my rating's going to be even after I made this video. But yeah, this was borderline great show all around. Borderline really a borderline excellent show from AEW and technically New Japan. So we kicked it off with the AEW World Title match. You have MJF defending against New Japan star Hiroshi Tanahashi. And like, you know, it's a banger of a card when the both world titles of AEW and New Japan were like the least important matches. But this match, NJ vs Hiroshi Tanahashi, it was no like, what's the word I'm looking for? Damn it! This was no slash here that I was meant to. This is not to take away anything about what I say about being one of the least important matches. NJPW vs Tanahashi was still a really good match. This MJF like MJF, when it's all said and done this year, has a really catalog, great fucking catalog for 2023 that you can consider being one of the wrestlers of the year, as every match he's had, including the two ones, were pretty much matches of those nights. The one he had with Bryan Danielson, the Iron Man match, that was the greatest Iron Man match in AEW in wrestling history. That Iron Man match. The Fatal 4-Way with Darby, Sammy, and Jack Perry. That was, you can also consider one the greatest Fatal 4-Way in history. Even the match he had with Adam Cole on Dynamite just a few weeks prior to this was outstanding, man. So his catalog for 2023 has been pretty fucking excellent so far, and this was below that, but it was still really good. And Hiroshi Tanahashi, seeing him, he definitely wrestled like he definitely more like a wrestler who's pretty much almost in his past his aspiration wrestler state, but he kind of held his own in this. Although you can look like he was kind of hurting in some movie, because like though I see he was like being in that New Japan main event scene for so long. Had that main event style about him that I was going to run up ending up catching up to him. But yeah, this was a really good match, and yeah, the NJF got the clear victory over Hiroshi Tanahashi to retain the world title, and yeah, there's nothing pretty much nice thing I can say about it. It was a really good match. Next one is the first round. Was it a quarterfinal of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament? You had CM Punk going up against Satoshi Kohamia. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong, but Satoshi Kohima, I think that's was his name pronounced. But yeah, CM Punk versus Satoshi Kojima. So this was CM Punk's first singles match in many months. The last one he had, the singles match, was against Shawn Moxley at All Out 2022. That's when he hurt. Streisand had to be gone for like 8-9 months. So yeah. So this match, I won't this match I don't think was designed to end up being stealing the show. Like it wasn't really kind of all about the match, if you really think. I think this was more about the crowd reaction and how people reacted to CM Punk coming out with a big chorus of bulls in Toronto. Well, they're kind of Kenny Omega country, as he's associated tied with the Elite. That I kind of knew Punk would get boost on places, and this was one of the expected ones. But I must say, CM Punk has had a really had good fun time since he's been coming back, because he seems to have a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun. Like the clothesline he did, shouting out random names, that was great. And I think with the crowd bullying him, it kind of made a fun atmosphere, and it really makes you wonder of what a heel CM Punk could be. And I think it can be maybe if and when, rather when CM Punk does eventually turn heel, because there is definitely money in heel CM Punk, and this match was simple. This was, as a match, it was decent, but it was a fun atmosphere because of the crowd and their response towards CM Punk. And look, I must say AEW recently has been a lot of fun with CM Punk being back into it, because it seems like Punk is having a lot of fun with it, and AEW seems to have a lot of fun with him being back. So it's kind of a win-win for now. Let's see how he hopes up for the rest of his run. So yeah. So this was a decent match. Punk won, by the way. He advances to the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, as we all expected he would. So yeah. So then this was decent. They both were hard. Even the New Japan guy, even when I think he's like in his early 50s, he also worked hard in this. So this was a overall decent match, period. Let's just say. The Fatal 4-Way for the AEW International Championship, you have Orange Cassidy defending against Zack Sabre Jr., Katsuyori Shibata. I will just go Shibata. And then you'll go see. It's the Fatal 4-Way International Championship. Cassidy, Zack Sabre Jr., Shibata, and then you'll go see him. You know, this match was okay. It was nothing special about him. I think it was just there, honestly, to fill the cup, because there were like 10 matches on this. Well, technically not, because there was one match. I know the Idol Cole match was supposed to be on the show, but he ended up getting ill throughout that day, and they had to bump the match out of it. So I don't know what's to fill the card, but this match, it was just there, I must say. It was what it was, and I must say, Orange Cassidy great performance throughout most of it. Like Orange Cassidy international title one, I must say he has been one of the better champions in this company. I think I said it in a Double or Nothing. I don't know if I said it then, but I will say like he has made this title more important, prestigious than the TNT Championship, and it's kind of sad to think, but that gives me a lot of credit for Orange Cassidy, because he has dropped us some really great matches throughout this title run. And you know, it was kind of like when I saw that ad, but I saw the other day Matt Hardy saying that he's AEW's Undertaker at this point, where he's not like the top guy, but he's like always the most reliable performer. Where you need something in a match, they will put Orange Cassidy in it, because they know he will deliver in most aspects. So, and I think that while it was not like although it can be a crazy comparison comparing Orange Cassidy to The Undertaker, two completely different wrestlers in terms of gimmicks. But you cannot deny that Orange Cassidy has become pretty much one of the most reliable performers on this AEW roster. And his style reign has proved too. And even with this match, like it was everyone got to do their own stuff with Sabre and Shibata. Maybe that's the fit for New Japan, and I thought they said even today. So, but it was a 2-1 home to write about. This again, this was a above average match, so I'm not going to like 200, but we kind of all knew Orange Cassidy wasn't going to lose in this specific match, so I didn't think he would lose. So kind of brought up that match a little bit, but it was still. I thought it was still alright, I must say. We got Orange Cassidy retaining, and yeah, this was a alright match. It was decent. Now I must say, this was a pretty decent fatal forward. So yeah. For the New Japan IWGP, for the IWGP World Title, that's what they call it. You got the defending champion Sanada versus Jeff Perry. This was during the match with the stream of this show, because I didn't watch a good chunk during this period. Like the stream where I was watching was getting bluffing. But in the times that I watched it, like this was just like I said in the Fatal for which I thought Now Melee it was decent. This was just nothing special. It was already, it was there. Like, it really felt more than most of the match. It really felt like a TV match than a pay-per-view quality match. I mean, for what this guy did was, this was mediocre at best. But yeah, like, and this really, again, with the Punk Kojima match. Now there we go. With the Punk Kojima match, I really felt that this wasn't even so much about the match, because Sonata retains in this match. But what happened afterwards was the real talking point, where Hook was managing Jungle Boy Jack Perry throughout all this. So after the match, he helps Jack Perry out. They carry to the ring. They had the announcer say about something, and then we cut back to Jack Perry and Hook. We cut back to them. They were posting at the top of the ring, and then out of nowhere, boom! Jack Perry snuffs up on Hook, attacks him. Well, not so much. He pretty much shot the guy, and pretty much turning here and mocking the fans and all that stuff. That's saying holy shit. And yeah, this was kind of like that, but I thought this was kind of necessary to him, because I felt like there was only so little mileage at this point, him being a face, and I thought some of the stick that Jack Perry has done as a face Like, I think he has gone as far as he can do as he's gonna be as a face. So him switching up the character and him being the different role should benefit him in the long run. Once I think he's getting more comfortable with it. Like the promo he did on the Falling Dynamite was decent. I didn't think it was particularly all really good, but as he get more comfortable to it, I think the heel run with Jack Perry will work. And like with him talking about shredding away from the name Jungle Boy, with him now being here, this will surely tarnish that name away completely. But yeah, but this was a bit necessary, and I thought the heel turn itself was nicely done. And yeah, I really look for what a heel Jungle Boy Jack Perry will be as he grows more into this new role for him. So yeah. The next match, I think this is where the show really pick up in those final stretch matches. You got the Elite. You got the Elite. Heyman Adam Page, Young Bucks, Eddie Kingston, and Tomohiro Ishii going up against the Blackpool Combat Club with Moxley, Claudio, Yuta, Takeshita, the newly formed alliance with Don Callis, and Shota Ino. Now I didn't watch completely. This is again where I thought about this would be acting weird during that period, but for what I saw, this was a really kick-ass match. Like, this was really good. Like, you had the attention between the interaction I thought with Kingston and Jon Moxley were really great. Where they are kind of best friends on, like, kind of awesome, but while these two guys were supposedly hate each other, but they really don't want to really fight each other, and that dynamic is something that could really work in wrestling, and I think it worked here. And like, yeah, like this was like, I think the Money the Man formula, like, were able to rotate people in, so it made the pace more fast than it would have been slow and could have gotten a little boring. So they kept the pace to a reasonable amount. And yeah, like, and when I say about Eddie Kingston and Real Monster, like, he's so funny with Monster, but he hates Claudio Castagnoli, and there's some hits and there's barely some real life heat sometimes with Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli back in the day. So that was a really nice touch. And to catch that, I must say, like, ever since pairing with the Blackpool Combat Club and Don Callis, I must say, has really worked wonders for him, because this man, he has more heat than some of the biggest heels in WWE right now, where, like, it's on par with Dominic Mysterio and even trying to stand Roman Reigns, for God's sake. Like, this man gets some incredible heat with Don Callis, which was pretty easy because Don Callis is also a heat magnet at this point. But yeah, the pair, Takeshi's pair with the Blackpool Combat and Don Callis has worked tremendous so far with him. And yeah, like it. If AEW could get his character also down with to can work on his character nicely, like he could be a major player in this company. So yeah, really good match, and like I said, the other month, like they've double or nothing, we are definitely heading towards for the Battle Combat Called Elite Blood and Guts match, with the inclusion of Kota Ibushi. Definitely see. The next match is for the AEW Women's Championship. You have Tony Storm defending against so it's AEW Women's Championship. Tony Storm defending against Widow Nigel. Widow Nigel. Sorry to pronounce her name wrong, but Widow Night Gable, like Gabe, we Night Gate. I'll pronounce it that way. Sorry if that offends. Yeah, it's kind of hard. So yeah, but I thought the cost structure for this show was also really good because you had that crazy ass 10-man tag with the Elite and the Battle Combat Code that it would have been crazy to have like another crazy match that was about that I'm going to get through after this. So Widow and Stone had a good purpose to kind of breathe the crowd in before another crazy stuff can happen. But the match was fine. It was nothing. It was never going to be something that was able to be special enough. Like they did their stuff. It was a nice solid match with Tony Storm retaining. But I hope this is not the year for Willie though, as I think they might have something in their hands with this chick. So yeah. So there's nothing about tons to say about it. So this was fun. Well, I do have a lot to say about this match. For the IWGP United States Championship, you got Kenny Omega defending against Will Ospreay, the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. Holy fucking shit. Like, I thought there was a chance they would have topped the Wrestle Kingdom match from earlier this year, but I didn't even think it was gonna be this close. Like, holy crap! What we saw here, like what we saw here was pretty much a match of the year. Probably for any wrestling show this year. Like this was like AW get those both last like almost like 30 to 40 minutes of this, and they put up a fucking wrestling clinic. Busted the wall scene. And what I really appreciate, there were certain elements of their previous and Wrestle Kingdom 17, but they did it in a way where they added some spark to it and made it a bit more aggressive to it. They didn't try to like make it much exactly like the Wrestle Kingdom match, but they do it really nice with some variation on it and to make it more intensive. And yeah, they really deliver on it. like, Will Ospreay is just a really great fucking heel. Like, licking the blood out of Kenny Omega. Like, licking his own blood on it. And him flipping off the fence multiple times at it. It was just fucking great. He has this basically program of Kenny Omega has really made me turn to a real big fan of his. Like even more so than what he did last year, where he appeared at Forbidden Door last year, with always cashing, and he made those few appearances on Dynamite. So, but yeah, this bro, and yeah, like it had, and they took their time with it because this was a long ass match. But yeah, like yeah, this. Well, I can't really say that it hasn't been said by many people. This was fucking amazing. It was a classic. You know, I don't know what's with Kenny Omega this year, but like, ever since like he took like that major time off away from like late 2021 till basically almost the entire portion of 2022. Yeah, he came back for a little bit, but then he had the brawl out. He was out a bit. Then he came back in late 2022. And ever since 2023 started, especially when he did that Wrestle Kingdom match with Ospreay, I don't know, but like, this guy has turned back the clock a bit to his New Japan days, because like, with AEW, like, he has had some diamonds in the rough, where like, he has had some diamonds with that one tag team match, teaming with Heyman Page against the Young Bucks in 2020. The match he had with Bryan Danielson and Arthur Ashe one time. Even the match with Heyman Page in Full Gear 2021, I think. Even the Bob White, even like the Uncensored Lights Out match with John Monson 2019. But so yes, I had some diamonds and what, but when I say turn back to the old days again, man, I meant New Japan, because it was really those days of New Japan where he was given the best mouth machine nickname for a reason, because back then through 2016 until 2018-ish, where he was pretty much having the best match on every show he has been on, like the classics he had with Okada, the Wrestle Kingdom match against Jericho, which was pretty much the starting gun for all of the wrestling and why it all exists now. Like, the guy has did, at least for this year, at the terms of singles matches he had, like, even some of the tag team ones have been embarrassed, but what I'm really trying to get at is like, when I talk about MJF having a really good year, turning out to be a great year for him. Also with Orange Cassidy, Kenny Omega is gonna be up there, because like, yeah, he has had some tremendous matches this year, and this one no example. And in some cases, in my opinion, top the Wrestle Kingdom match with they had in January, because like, this was more intense than that match. It had more. You had much clearer roles, we're facing heel. I don't know what was the rules specifically were in the Wrestle Kingdom match, but this here, they have their roles pretty much clear. That in the face heel dynamic, they're all clear, and yeah, this was a fucking classic of a match. It was intense. It was brutal. You have just enough interference. Like, I, here's what I will say. I didn't like Don Callis going off the second time out of him. Like, I wouldn't just have him getting ejected only to be back out there. That was kind of stupid. I wish they could have done. They could have had Callis just come out and just be done with it, because like there was just enough interference to make the Ospreay look slightly and underhanded, but not so much that it looked like he couldn't get the job done himself. Like, it wasn't like in my opinion, it wasn't exactly like with the Roman match where it was like he gets constantly interfered and then at the very end he gets help for someone and then wins. Like, at least Ospreay had, for the majority of the match against himself, had the wrestling match for himself. Like, he didn't have tons, although he did use a weapon, and Omega pretty much kicked out, and that fucking kick out of that one count kick out from when Ospreay hit it, that one we Angel Kenny and Kenny just, they fucking had me with it. They just had me with it in that match. Like, and even with the Tiger driving Iron one, like, I thought like that was it also. Like, yeah, like that didn't even get the job done, but finally he did get the job done with hitting his finisher 1, 2, 3. He finally pulled it down. Ospreay got his win back, reclaimed his US title, which I thought what was going to happen, because I didn't see there much to go with Kenny Omega as IWGP US Champion. And I don't know if he's gonna do any more New Japan Day, so it felt time to get the belt back for Ospreay. And yeah, this was a fucking excellent match. Excellent match. This was pretty much match of the year. It's pretty much going to go down match of the year, and I do hope they can somehow make the match happen for the trilogy at All in Wembley Stadium in London. I truly hope they can make it, go there and do that match. But yeah, I have nothing else that I must say that could make this match justice. This was, go back and watch this. Like, it was nothing short of magnific. It was really a magnificent match. So yeah. So we really had a cool down match, and let's face it, like, it was really gonna be hard. Like, you had this next match, Sting and Darby Allin and Tetsuya Naito against Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki. Now, when I talk about there's a match that I'm kind of iffy about, when I said early on this video, this is the match I'm talking about. Like, the crowd was absolutely spent after what we just saw with Omega and Ospreay. That it was really gonna be hard to the crowd to get the crowd somewhat for this. But that you can tell they were trying to get the crowd with this match. And the match was not really that great. Like this was the worst match of the show, and this was another, like, this was mediocre at best. It wasn't particularly bad, it wasn't particularly good, it wasn't particularly great. It was just meh. It was just meh, and it's a really shame because this was out of all Sting's matches since he arrived in AEW, this was pretty much his worst one. And that's kind of sad because it seems like every time Sting has a match these days, the crowd will always be up to it. This, like, they were done after what we just saw in the last match. They were done, and it got scary at the end with, like, he Sammy looked like he fucking broke in your head with that 630 on the table that almost laying on things on his neck, and his neck, if you remember, his neck issues what led to his basically retirement in 2015 when he had that match against Seth Rollins one time. So it was really fucking risky, and yeah, that looks so fucking dangerous. Luckily, Sting managed it. And you can tell he kind of no-sold him. When he getting up after that, yeah, that ended looked kind of rough. So the good guys won. The match was meh. Pretty much worst match of the night. So we get to the main event. Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada. So this was the big dream match that going in everyone will look forward to, and I wasn't even going to what we were going to get, especially where we had Kenny Omega Will Ospreay delivering a classic early on. So those two had a real task in hand of trying to top what Omega and Ospreay did earlier. And I must say the fortunate thing for this match, it had a really big fight feel to it. With Danielson, his entrance with the fucking, we had the final countdown entrance music for Bryan Danielson, which was, it was so fucking so weird hearing it. And for Bryan Danielson, you can even tell it felt so weird for him to have it, to come out with it for this match against Okada. That many fans call this a dream match, and one that many wanted Bryan to have everything he came to All Elite Wrestling in 2021. Because AEW New Japan were always doing stuff, and when Forbidden Door came in, this is what people wanted to see. Matches like this, Bryan Danielson and Okada, and I'm so glad we had this match. I didn't think, like, I do not want to complain too much with it, because yeah, the crowd may have not been too much into it because of what we saw with Kenny Omega with Ospreay, but let's not try to discredit this match because of it. Because on its own, Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada was even still a really good to a great match by its own standard. Like this was a a much slower match than the Omega Ospreay match, but this was still really great actually. Like it didn't live up to Omega Ospreay standards, but they really tried. They really worked hard, and but in some cases I see some complaints of it, but it was really no fault of any the performances, but it was really unfortunate to see Brian fracture his arm in about 10 minutes in, and yeah, like you can even see him selling, like almost having like he was almost having a seizure or something like that, where he was selling that arm. Like it almost got really scary for a bit, even for me watching it at that time. Like that was some really scary shit, but thankfully he held it on, and this was probably why it didn't go to the territory of an amazing match. But this was still a great match that I saw, and the finish was quite out of nowhere. And the finish was Brian holding to the armbar of Okada for a really long time. Like he had that submission hold on for a very long time. That when Omega topped out, it was a really shocking thing, because it was like nobody saw it fucking coming. They thought Okada was going to get through and the match would continue, but no. Okada tapped out and Bryan Danielson won this match here. It was pretty much out of nowhere victory. So yeah, and like I wish they could have built up to it to get to where they were, but I thought the fit was on Plexus Supply to playing a good way. I thought Bryan Danielson was going to win, only because like I don't think this will be the only match these guys have. If they could get Bryan Danielson to do a match at the Tokyo Dome, that's when you can revisit the match with him and Okada at Wrestle Kingdom next January. So look, watch out for that, because that's definitely a real possibility. But like I said, the match on its own standard, it was still great. It wasn't like Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, really great standard, but it was almost close to it. So yeah. So that cuts up a really great Forbidden Door. Much better than last year's, like I said earlier. You have a match of the year candidate for Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, into a couple of fights with a really lot of fun matches in between there. And the last few matches being really good to great to fucking excellent. This really made it a really fun show for me watching it. So yeah, there is that for my AEW New Japan Forbidden Door. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe over there. Tell me what you thought about AEW New Japan Forbidden Door in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Martinez, and I approve these matches.